Imagine possessing the key to absolute freedom, a life where you aren't controlled by others' opinions, where rejection doesn't scare you, and your inner peace remains unshaken. However, in the world around you, people are constantly attempting to sway your decisions, distract you, and divert you from your true path. How would you manage that pressure? This is the wisdom Buddha offers, a pathway to rise above external distractions and unlock your full potential by focusing solely on yourself. Today, we'll unveil 10 powerful Buddhist teachings that demonstrate how to release others' opinions and take charge of your life. 1. Stop depending on others for your happiness. As Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." This means that true happiness doesn't stem from what others say or do, it originates from within us. When we rely on others for our happiness, whether through their approval, praise, or actions, we give them control over our emotions, often leading to disappointment because no one can make us happy all the time. Buddhism teaches us to look inward for peace and contentment, often leading to disappointment because no one can make us happy all the time. Buddhism teaches us to look inward for peace and contentment. By fostering self-reliance, we build a strong foundation of inner peace that no one can take away from us. 2. Don't fear being alone. It's where you find true power. As Buddha said, meditate, live simply, be silent, do your work with mastery. This teaches us that solitude isn't something to dread, it's a source of strength. When we spend time alone, we create space to truly understand ourselves, reflect on our thoughts, and grow emotionally and spiritually. Being alone allows us to meditate and focus on personal growth without distractions. Instead of depending on others for comfort or validation, we learn to be our own best companion. By embracing solitude, we discover the inner strength and wisdom that help us navigate life with confidence and clarity. 3. Stop seeking approval from everyone. As Buddha stated, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." This means that the approval you truly need is your own, not anyone else's. When we constantly seek validation from others, whether through compliments, praise, or acceptance, we lose sight of our own worth and let others control how we feel about ourselves. Buddhism teaches us that genuine confidence and happiness come from self-acceptance. You don't need to rely on others' opinions to feel good about who you are. Instead, practice giving yourself the love, kindness, and validation you deserve. The more you approve of yourself, the less you depend on others for validation, freeing yourself from unnecessary stress and disappointment. 4. Don't let rejection break you. Rejection is a natural part of life, but it doesn't define your worth. It's easy to feel discouraged or inadequate when faced with rejection, but Buddhism teaches us to view it differently. Instead of seeing it as a failure, view it as an opportunity for growth and redirection. Sometimes rejection is just life's way of steering you towards something better. As Buddha said, in the end, only 3 things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you. This reminds us that letting go with grace is key to finding peace. When you stop taking rejection personally, you free yourself from unnecessary pain and create space for new opportunities. Let go, move forward, and trust that rejection is just a stepping stone on your journey. 5. Stop fearing what others think of you. One of the biggest sources of anxiety is worrying about others' opinions. We often let others' judgments shape our actions and feelings, but Buddhism teaches us that other people's judgments are more about them than about us. The only thing that truly matters is how you see yourself and your own actions. As Buddha said, "Let none find fault with others, let none see the faults in others, but let one see one's own acts done and undone." This reminds us to focus on our own journey and stop worrying about what others think. People's opinions are out of your control, and constantly fearing their judgment will only drain your energy. When you let go of this fear, you find freedom and peace in being authentically yourself. 6. Stop sacrificing your peace to please others. Many of us fall into the habit of trying to please everyone around us, whether at work, with friends, or even within our families. We go out of our way to make others happy, often at the expense of our own peace and well-being. In the end, no matter how hard you try, you can never fully satisfy everyone. and this constant effort to please others only leads to exhaustion and stress. As Buddha wisely taught, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. This reminds us that peace of mind is far more valuable than trying to meet everyone's expectations. Buddhism encourages us to act with compassion and kindness, but not at the expense of our own inner peace. There's a balance to be found. Help others, but don't let their needs overwhelm your life. It's okay to say no and set boundaries when necessary. When you prioritize your own peace, you can live more authentically and give from a place of strength rather than sacrifice. Remember, the more you focus on keeping your own mind calm and centered, the less you'll feel the need to constantly seek approval or please others. True contentment comes from within, and when you honor your own peace, you bring greater harmony to your life and relationships. 7. Focus on what you can control yourself. In life, we often get frustrated or upset because we try to control things that are completely out of our hands. We want people to act a certain way, situations to unfold exactly as we imagine, and outcomes to always align with our expectations. But one of Buddhism's core teachings is that clinging to things beyond our control only causes suffering. The truth is, you cannot control how others behave, how they feel, or what they think. The only thing you truly have power over is yourself. Your actions, your thoughts, and your reactions. As Buddha said, rule your mind or it will rule you. This simple yet profound teaching reminds us that our minds are incredibly powerful. When we focus on mastering our own thoughts and emotions, we gain control over our lives instead of wasting energy trying to change others or control situations. Shift that energy inward. Ask yourself, how can I react better? How can I improve myself? How can I find peace within, even when things outside of me are chaotic? By focusing on what you can control, your own mind, habits, and responses, you build resilience. External events, whether positive or negative, no longer have the power to disturb your inner peace. Imagine the freedom that comes when you no longer feel the need to control everything around you. The moment you accept that others' actions are not your responsibility, you reclaim your power. This mindset shift leads to a calmer, more contented life. You become less reactive and more intentional, making decisions from a place of inner stability rather than stress or anxiety. This is the path to true freedom and self-mastery, where you can remain at peace regardless of external circumstances. By focusing on your inner world, you create a life where outer chaos can't touch your calm. When you focus inward, you also stop relying on others' unpredictable behavior to determine your happiness. You begin to recognize that the key to peace lies in your ability to maintain balance and mindfulness no matter what's happening around you. Over time, you'll find that by working on yourself, you actually inspire those around you to change. Your calm becomes contagious. Others may begin to notice your strength and resilience, and it may even encourage them to reflect on their own actions. This practice isn't about ignoring the world or becoming detached from others, but rather about realizing that your energy is best spent on what you can change yourself. Once you master your own reactions and mindset, you will find that external challenges no longer shake your foundation. And that is where true power lies. 8. Realize that people are focused on their own lives. We often believe that people are constantly watching and judging us. But the reality is much simpler. Most people are far too absorbed in their own lives to focus on us. This realization can be incredibly freeing. The fear of judgment is one of the biggest reasons we hold back from being our authentic selves. Whether it's worrying about how we dress, speak, or act, we assume others are scrutinizing every detail. But Buddhism teaches us to let go of this unnecessary burden and live more freely. This reminds us that each of us has our own unique journey to follow. As Buddha taught, your work is to discover your world and then with all your heart give yourself to it. People are primarily concerned with their own problems, goals, and dreams instead of worrying about what others might think of you. Focus on discovering your path and living it fully. When you realize that people aren't thinking about you as much as you believe, it lifts a huge weight off your shoulders.